I see that Beth Boyer has chimed in.
Do you want to take gentlemen first, or do you want to sign you?
However you want to do it.
Sam's here, you wanna start with him?
Yeah, and then we can, it won't take long to do it.
Yeah.
The agenda is a little different than what I had sent you, emailed you, we added a few things.
Yeah, okay.
There.
You have the first and last pages of the receivables report, because it's 18 pages, because we haven't received our big part 2 payments yet. So there's still 900 some odd outstanding bills.
Oh,
This
okay.
gives you an idea of what is old that's still outstanding.
Yeah.
And then underneath is the collections year to date, which shows you what's been warranted or what's been collected for the year. So that gives you kind of a summary overview for the whole year of what we've done.
Wow, it's amazing. When I started out, Sam, the sum total of all the warrants was $496,000. Amazing.
Are some of these appearing on there because this is the next tax bill, or?
Yeah,
Yeah, the PO2, the big number, the $2.6 million number is, but that doesn't reflect any of the mortgage companies that they
Yeah.
haven't paid the mortgage companies yet.
the ones that you get the $100,000 checks and stuff, they don't come in until the last minute, right?
We've got another, little more than a week,
Yeah.
so. Went to a training last week for elections, that was up in Canton, and everything's go for January 23rd, so.
Yeah.
That's,
And I saw a blurb in one of the newspapers that the new voting machines may not be ready for the 2024.
they've gotta have them conditionally approved for March, so
Yeah,
there's, the Secretary of State is gonna have to work hard to get that done.
yeah,
So, that's the
they,
date is March.
Yeah. Yeah.
according to the article, they were still trying to figure out what the problem was,
Yeah,
so. The guy from LHS, I can't think of his name,
not Mike.
no. He's been there for 100 years, so. Wears glasses, bald-headed.
I'm thinking Brenda. There's a
Oh.
woman who's been in there recently, Brenda.
Yeah, but
Wow.
this was a guy that,
Yeah,
from LHS, said that they hadn't gotten, conditional approval to use the machines.
Secretary of State's office versus
Oh,
LHS's,
Oh, okay,
yeah. Priorities are being reshuffled a little bit,
hopefully,
so
hopefully.
hopefully that's gonna change.
Any
I think that's it.
problems?
Yeah,
No problem.
no.
No.
Nope. Jessie's been out sick, but she's came back this week, so,
Yeah, okay, good, good. There's a lot of it going around.
yeah.
Yes, there is.
Have any more questions for Sam?
I do not.
Do you wanna give a quick update on where we are with that piece of property and the mailings that you've done?
Sure. Ken and I wrote a letter, we sent it out to, I think 50 or 60 different individuals who are heirs of Samuel Lovering in some capacity or another, and we got our first phone calls today. So,
Hmm.
Ken and I are working on that, trying to get this stuff to him to
Yeah.
relay back to the lawyer.
Yeah, I actually did call them back, and, so I talked with Sam, and I think what our intent is probably is to wait a couple weeks and get, see what we get for responses, because we sent out, it had to be 50 letters, right? Florida, Texas, a bunch of places. And with the holiday, we figured, people. But I explained to the gentleman who called today that we would wait for a couple of weeks, and then our intent would be to have them contact, we'll share the list of relatives with them, to have them contact those relatives and potentially hire an attorney or go through probate to figure out who actually owns the property.
Yeah.
And I told them that wasn't the town's responsibility.
Yeah.
We're doing this to try and assign a tax bill to it,
Yeah.
but we don't have any authority to determine who actually owns it.
Yeah,
So,
certainly makes sense.
so he was interested, and he has 3 siblings, and he felt that they would be interested. He lives in New Hampshire, and felt that they would be interested enough that they would probably check with an attorney to see what the cost would be anyway.
Good,
So,
yeah, that sounds promising,
Good.
very good.
so we'll keep you updated on that. We have not met with the attorneys for the gentleman that tried to do the quitclaim on it.
Oh,
So we're just trying to get dates to set up a meeting with them, just to let them know this is the information we have, and that we didn't feel that quitclaim had any authority on
Yeah.
that piece of property.
So how does that work? Is it need to be registered as a lot in town first, or?
Well, it is a lot in town.
Okay,
The owner is unknown at this point.
yeah,
And it says heirs of, we've assigned a tax bill to it, heirs of Lovering, Samuel Lovering, but that's as far as we can go. Until we decide, we can figure out who actually owns it. Because the last tax bill was
1949.
Oh
1949,
my gosh.
so.
two Lovering?
Yeah, to his son,
Oh,
but we never assigned any sort of tax deed to it,
okay.
so
Yeah,
it's kinda in limbo.
Yeah.
We didn't follow our duty, but they stopped paying taxes on it, so it's like,
yeah.
where does that leave us?
There's a lot of, and I know you guys don't have time, but there's a lot of the old records at archives. Not actually warrant books, but it was like when they took head and poll tax, and it listed everybody, and those are really interesting. And if somebody had the time, they could probably find some information back in the 1940s.
Well, we'll keep you updated on that.
Okay.
Questions for me?
Nope.
Alright.
Thanks, Sarah.
Just in time.
Just in time, you're up to bat.
I thought he was on the schedule before me.
Showed up just in the nick of time to see.
I was giving a little tour of the PD to a youngin.
Cool.
Just hand those over.
And then, I don't know if y'all get a copy of this, but yeah.
Yeah, schedule.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, same will pass back.
Right.
So it's just copy this right here. See. And can I get all the other things that I need to use? Yeah.
Which one, this one?
That, yeah.
Okay, yeah,
That stuff, just-
yeah, you got one.
Thank you. I didn't think I had enough. So it looks like in November that, state police had handled 5 calls for service and 3 traffic enforcements. So there's motor vehicle crash, suspicious activity, medical assist. Actually, police information, so that could be almost anything. I didn't pull that up to look at it. And then a motorist assist, so that's
pretty much it for safe weeks last month, so they were lucky on that one. And then you got stats for October, November. Through the 18th of the month, so it's due today. We were lucky today as far as no crashes and stuff like that with the weather.
Yeah.
Limbs down.
Yeah, a lot of, yeah, maybe a couple branches and stuff like that on the road, just all small stuff.
Brought the pine cones down, didn't it?
Oh yeah, sure. Brought a lot of stuff down,
Yeah,
a lot of leaves out on the road,
yeah.
everything out on the road actually.
Do you have any questions?
I do not.
Looks good.
Purchased the cruiser.
We did, so we purchased the new cruiser.
The one that we've been talking about, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Correct. Yep, so that went, that went out, they pulled the front end off, it did what they had to do, now it's over at Truck Trends. We'll be getting that back, either, I'm not sure if it's gonna be tomorrow, depends on if you got everything done today, it has to sit for 24 hours, so we'll leave it there. Then when we get it back, we'll bring it back to finish getting it outfitted, and then there might be an issue, with the cruiser, so we'll check into that and send it down to the pony, because it's a warranty thing.
Yeah.
If it is, so, everything's on track for
Sounds
that.
good,
Sounds good.
yeah.
Questions, comments, concerns?
Sounds
Nope.
good.
No,
Thank you.
thank
You're
you.
welcome. Is that
Thanks, Mike.
anything else then?
That's it.
Good?
Hope you wear your hat when you're out there, you know.
I'm trying to fertilize, get something to grow, it's not working.
Well done, Lou. Stay safe out there.
Thanks, take care, guys.
Yeah.
See you later.
All right, starting right at the top, 321 emergency calls for service year to date. Last year, we were at 302, so we're gonna be about 10% above last year. And then I populate trainings, inspections, public relations events, and all that stuff. And today, we've had 170 of those things, in addition to the calls. So those are, for the last couple of years, those have been all been recorded anytime we go out the door to perform a public service. Today's rain and wind event, I monitored the forecast over the weekend. Like we probably all did, I was a little concerned, so I brought an extra person on duty today. We had a couple of calls in case something would happen. And that ended up being Herb. So Herb kind of shadowed Dave for the day and kind of did a few things. And, you know, we're in the process of getting him in town email account and all that stuff. So it was a good choice. I spent part of the day in contact with the platform, with the web EOC platform for Unitil and Eversource. So basically, we have a direct line to them. It's not like just a residential customer calling. I have a direct line to the decision makers if I ever needed to, if the school went out or if a major thing went out. So that's good. And I make sure anytime we have an event that I'm on with them. And obviously, I was on with the State Emergency Operations Center, which was staffed all day today as well. So I had all those people at my disposal, knock on wood. We haven't needed anything today other than a couple of routine calls, so that's good. The fire prevention is still having issues down on Hall Road. They are telling me the right things, whether they're doing them or not. It's getting better, but it's still not where it needs to be, so.
I'm not seeing a gate down there, I'm not seeing the camera, or whatever's guarding that place, huh?
Yeah, I don't think they have the gate in yet. The gate is in, but the automatic open and close is not there yet, so. So I'm dealing with them. I have them on speed dial. Anytime we go there, we let them know, and, so they're working on it. I did let them know at your direction, we were coming up with a false alarm fee schedule, so whether that lit a fire under the butt or not, I'm not quite sure. But I'm still gathering facts from other agencies for that, and just haven't had the time to put something together, but I will, I'll have something for you in time.
What's happening across the street? Is that being used yet, or is it open? The bigger facility?
Yeah, that's being open, it's really not that full, there's only a few bays that are rented out, but, that is functional. That's the one that's under alarm, the one across the street from the vending, it doesn't have an alarm system. So the only one that's alarmed is the RV self-storage.
Okay. Is that gonna add an alarm across the street?
No. No.
That's actually the one I pulled into.
Oh, really? Yeah. We had an issue with a couple people residing, in a couple of units, so we put it on, Joel went down there and he's been in contact with the same people that I've been for the alarm, so. They're doing what they need to do to make sure, the people that own that are remote, so, you pay you a couple $100 a month for the unit, I really don't think they really care what you do in the unit. And some people take advantage of that and they don't have a place to live, so they go live there, and we have a concern because of lack of ventilation, heating in the winter, and for obvious reasons, sanitary, all that stuff, you know what I mean? We have a concern there, and I give it to Joel, and he reached out to the people, and they said they were addressing it, so.
So we just need to keep an eye on the number of porta potties down there, maybe.
Yeah.
It needs to be monitored.
The unfortunate thing is when I went, when we were doing a pre-plan of the place, and we ran into the people that were obviously residing in one of them, there was like a 5-year-old girl with them too. So that was kinda, so we made that known, and hopefully, but speaking of the people where I come from in Manchester, he said and they have a fair amount of self-storage, it's very, very, very common
Yeah.
for people to be residing in self-storage, so. And I've been working with the people, a different owner on, the one on 106, I've been working with them on that too, so.
Are they having that issue out there? or-
No, not that I know of.
That's more for big storage stuff.
That's toys and, yes, boats and campers and all that stuff. And I'm not sure what their capacity is, but I just updated the owner contact, the access, they put an ops access, and so we can get in if we need to. Last week we hosted every month I go to a different department, there's usually a breakfast, different chiefs throughout the compact region and different, people of leadership. We hosted it last week. I had 7 members on their day off at 6 o'clock in the morning there preparing a breakfast for the members that were coming. I think we had 20 chiefs from the region, including the state fire marshal and the head of Homeland Security for the state. So good conversation, good networking, and I have those people on speed dial when if I need them. So that's what those are about. So really good conversation.
Good.
3 pending applications, 2 of them female. One of them is in background checks as we speak, and the other 2 I'm waiting for them to return their applications, so that's pretty encouraging. I'm going to utilize this opportunity and transition from Dave to Herb to kind of look at the current job description and make a recommendation to you in the future before Herb takes over, just to tweak it and update it a little bit, so I'm working on that as well. Had a meeting this morning. I try to meet at least once a year, if not more, with the leadership of Pinnacle Rescue Squad, based upon the issues they've been having with staffing and responses and stuff like that. He did assure me they just hired 6 more people. They raised their rates and they're trying to be more competitive. But just like when we roll to a per diem program in Canterbury, there's going to be days you can't staff. There's going to be it's going to happen. We don't have a ton of options. But he hopes it's going to happen less. So what we did solve was, in the past, when he didn't have the staffing, he would notify me. My assumption was he'd notify dispatch. Well, I assumed wrong. So the way it works out, if dispatches a call and nobody goes, they wait 5 minutes and retone it, and then they wait 5 minutes and they retone it. So by the time you're getting mutual aid, it's 15 minutes after the 911 call comes in to get mutual aid rolling. So we did fix it where he's going to be calling dispatch when he knows. So right away, you'll be getting loud and you'll be getting the closest mutual aid ambulance if they're not staffed. But out of 1,080 calls this year, they missed 8 due to non-staffing. So that's well less than 1%. So that's pretty encouraging. So we'll keep the lines of communication open. And then one other issue was, so with Herb taking over, Herb's a paramedic. That's the highest level of emergency medicine that you can get And he has abilities that he can do that regular EMTs can't, such as pain medications in a cardiac arrest to help your chances of survival. But he does not have access to the drugs, because we don't carry them in Canterbury. So I'm working with Pinnacle, who's our primary ambulance, where he's gonna be able to open up their drug box when and if he needs. So there's some hoops we gotta jump through, he's gotta go on their roster and stuff like that. So Pinnacle's in town, we have an incident like that, he'll have access to their drug box. So
Pennacook is actually in Boston, or where is it located?
it's in Boston.
Boston,
Yeah.
Yeah.
okay, back where it was.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that
It's
little.
just the old
side street.
firehouse.
It's the old firehouse, over by Chief's Place Restaurant, out in that area.
Yep.
So since I got here, one of the things I identified is our forestry. We have a skid unit in a one-ton F-350. It's a one-ton, our skid unit weighs almost, when it's full of water, weighs almost 2 tons. So the truck's never been right. It always kind of sags, and it's really not meant to carry weight like that. So one of the things I've been wanting to do since I got here is just kind of, when I find it, I have a little extra money in my budget, to upgrade that suspension to handle it, and we just did that last month. So that's taken care of, it was like $800, and so that's all taken care of. It can carry the weight, it needs to carry now without any issues, so. Still working on the CAD transition, that's a dispatch program. We talked about Lieutenant Nelson's retirement, and I'm working on, I just got access to some per diem scheduling software. It's no cost to my budget, so it's like a free program unless you use all the payroll side of it, which I'm not going to. Just be using it for scheduling. And I was just notified this morning that I was successful in getting a $1,000 volunteer fire assistance grant for 2024. That's a 50-50 matching grant, so in 2024, if I buy some forestry equipment, if I spend $1,000, it's gonna cost me $500. So it's a local grant, it's just low hanging fruit. I put in for it every year, and we got it again this year, so.
Good deal.
The police department, do they have some sort of fundraiser they do for raising money, or don't you know? Should ask
Not sure.
Mike, because John Udeloy's wife died this week.
Who?
John Udeloy, he lives down on Old Tilton Road, and he's been after me every time I see him practically, which ain't that often, but he wants me to make sure that somebody goes after that money. He seems to think there's $2,500 or so in there. And it's something that Kiwanis raises, or I'm not sure who does it. He's asked me 2 or 3 times to look into it, and I keep forgetting it. So.
Yeah, I'm not sure that, I think Chief LeBrecq or Lieutenant Clarko may have more insight, but I'm not sure about that. Yeah.
I made a note, and I'll talk to the chief when he gets back from vacation. That may have to do with the, Crime Stopper, Crime Line,
Okay.
Crime Line, because John is on the board of directors for that.
Oh, is he? Okay.
Yeah, neighborhood watched.
That's all I have, unless you have any questions.
Looks good.
Nope.
Looks good.
Stay dry.
Yeah, right.
Rachel, how are you?
Thank you, Chief.
Yeah.
Great. Me.
Good evening, Council Sec.
Yes.
Well, thank you Gladys Construction, because if there was
Your roof isn't leaking?
wow, if
Good.
there was a day
Mm.
for me to know.
The fire chief said the same thing
Did
today.
he?
Yes.
I texted Mr. Gladys, yeah, I mean, if it was gonna leak, it was gonna happen today. And I have
Yes.
never worked in that building without it leaking, and that's 18 years, so, thank you, we wanna keep that guy around, he's wonderful. And, Scott noticed, we had a little brief discussion about drainage, and tonight is also a good night to see that all the water comes to the house filled with paper.
Yep.
So I'm a little sensitive about draining. Luckily, we're a cement pad, like we don't have a basement to flood. But definitely the water runs that way.
It looks like a huge pond right out in the front here.
Yep, that's what we were noticing. It's really ponded right in that
Yeah.
corner,
Yeah.
so.
Wonder if we can work that into what we're doing with this building.
That's kind of what I was thinking.
It's probably gonna meet a gutter there too, or isn't it?
What?
I don't know how we get the water that's sitting on the front of the porch right now around it.
What about the water that drains from, like, the store in front of the store, kinda?
Well, I think most of that goes across the center and out, but
Yeah.
today I should've gone out and looked at it.
Yeah, because a lot of it goes down to our favorite spot behind the town hall. Well, you always have the problem.
You know.
Yeah, and this, we've tried stone, putting stone in instead of mulch, because then the mulch just washes onto the porch. But with rain like this, the stones would move too.
Yeah.
So we definitely, maybe we need a gutter on the front.
I don't know how we take it up the hill, cause it really needs to start up in here somewhere and go down to that corner, I think, to drain. I think that's something we can ask the highway department to work
They're the
on.
ones who put the,
Yeah.
kind of the French drain in on
Okay.
here.
Yeah.
So, yeah, they would have knowledge of that.
Yeah, but it's wet. When last we talked, furnace is definitely gonna give me 2 years if I'm lucky. It'll make it a 21-year-old heating system. So I'm working on federal grants and state grants. In the meantime, one of my burners out of my 3 zones is kaput. And the trustees have authorized the repair of one of the burners, just because we're using 2 electric heaters, which, thank you, we have solar. But burner 3 is gonna be repaired. It's just gonna give me time and warmth enough to figure out a grant.
What a good winter to try it, huh?
And a really good winter, yeah, exactly. So I'll keep you updated on, the grant availability. I really feel strongly that there's gonna be a grant, especially for small rural libraries. But I have to, at the beginning of the year, I'll get together with the Energy Committee, and look at there's a ton of options. I already have 4 estimates for mini splits / backup burner / solar array on the roof for the mini splits. So I'll keep you posted on that one. The only 24 improvements that I have, is I've been selling the metal shelving. When we moved from the little library to our big beautiful library 20 years ago next year, the shelving just remained in the back closet. So when I took over as director, I started pulling that out because we have no storage. We just have little storage. So I'll continue selling that metal shelving. Because they were town appropriated metal shelves, I've just been selling them for like $50 to other state libraries. There isn't a considerable, they're 20-year-old pieces of shelving. So I'll continue to do that. I'm gonna complete the community art space, which is gonna be in there, and minor indoor things. We don't really have anything exterior to worry about. I don't even know if maybe you guys could advise me on this on the next sunny day we have. I don't feel like we need paint again this year. It looks pretty darn good. I don't know, Ken, we talked about it a couple times, and
It's holding up, it's holding
it's
up.
holding up. I think it looks great, and now with a patched roof and a new roof on the front, I think we're looking pretty good.
Good.
Which is great, because the furnace is gonna really take a lot of my time.
So are you getting new shelving, is that what you're doing?
No,
Or you're just selling the
we're
old stuff?
selling the old
Okay,
stuff.
alright.
Yeah, there's no, and
Yeah.
libraries are libraries, they have
Yep.
as little budget as I do, so,
Yep.
We don't need any up to the municipal complex, do we?
I could check, if you wanna check with the people up there, if there's something that they may be able to use or something, I don't know.
it's incredibly esoteric. It's like DVD racks. It's just library shelving. If it was shelving, I should have been more clear about that. If it was real shelving, we could actually sell it. But it's fairly esoteric, library periodical stands and things that I think they probably overestimated on the build for the new library, which probably, I would imagine that was a hard task to decide from that small building to this, how much we'd actually need. Turns out we didn't need half of it, not half of it, but there's a good amount of it left.
Yeah.
So, but all is well. I have Board of Trustees meeting, coming up, and we have 3 positions open for election. So I'll talk to my trustees about that tonight, and that's it. Any questions for the library? No?
Nope.
Oh, excellent. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
You want me for the road?
I'm all right, thank you.
Is John from
John will pop in at some point, he said he's gonna try to. And Howard Moffett will be here around 6:15, between 6:15 and 6:30.
Okay,
Do you wanna start on
Start.
accounts payable and,
yes. I have a manifest in the amount of $123,038.54.
So moved.
And seconded?
And I have a payroll manifest in the amount of, what is it here? She said-
down at the bottom there?
That in the red?
Yep.
All right, $88,833.57.
So moved.
And seconded.
We have a contract with Sanders LLC. They do the deed research for Sam for tax liens, tax sales. And,
You need to move that?
we don't,
You should do a motion on that, yeah.
So moved.
And second?
all in favor?
Aye.
Before you do any more on that,
Mm-hmm.
if you go down to the new business, we have to have a public hearing on accepting unanticipated funds.
Okay,
And if you could open it, and then we'll leave it open for a while. And then when we get through everything else, you can close it at the end.
all right.
So you need a motion to open a, public hearing for unanticipated funds. Let me get the paperwork out for you.
Do we need a motion on this?
So you'll need a motion to open the hearing, and then the amounts are there. There's 2, one for the highway block grant, which is the big one, $126,000, I think. And then the next one is, the bridge, you know, the bridge money we got last year?
Yep.
Well, we got more this year. Now it's, I think, 13,000, but the amounts are at the bottom.
Where did I see, the 26, the
26,000, and then there's a 13,000.
I got it,
Right?
yep, okay. All right, so, I'll see if I can craft a motion. So, I'll make a motion that we open a public hearing on accepting unanticipated funds in the amount of, do we need to say which fund?
Yeah.
26,743 .62 from the state of New Hampshire. $13,597.32, also from the state of New Hampshire. And 13,000, those are the same amounts, Ken, is that?
No, one should be 26 and one's 13.
Yeah, that's a letter with, for the highway.
The other one's a letter.
Two,
That's,
yeah.
that's the
Yeah.
letter.
Alright, so it's just the two
Yeah.
amounts.
Right.
Yes, just two
Okay,
amounts. Yeah.
very good.
One second. All in favor?
Aye. You want this back?
What's this for?
We have to sign this is for Sam's,
Oh,
for the research on the deeds. I don't know,
there's nothing for us to sign here. Oh, you just fill those in, you think?
I don't know, I just signed my name on the thing. This one's,
There.
and then we have 3 intent cuts. One on Shaker Road, map 207, lot 1 and 11.
That Tim made?
Yes. And then we have, what's that?
There's one for 207, lot 1 and 11.
Yep, and then this one, oh, what the heck,
Did you get the one on 227, lot 20,
which one have you got?
on Asby
Yeah.
Road?
Yeah.
Yeah, Asby,
And
And-
207, lot 1 and 11 is Shaker Road.
this is Shaker Road, but the map it's showing is 204.
204?
Yeah,
Sorry, I have it wrong in my notes.
1 and 11. And then the Flagg Road,
Yep, which is,
256, lot 5.
okay.
Stop it.
That's new business for you, Cheryl, it's just a letter that was sent to the town or to you, someone handing out pamphlets, wanted to know if we wanted any.
Just to get a Liberty Elm,
No,
that's what it's talking about.
Yeah, that's, yeah,
well, it's not to get a Liberty Elm, it's the Liberty, whatever they are.
Oh.
They got these, they're putting these pamphlets out, they want to know if the town wanted any.
we'll do that. Let's see. It's, just gives information on different, you can get the copies of and. Did you read the letter?
I did, I just glanced through it.
You get those every once in a while. Did you all have a chance to look at the minutes?
Yes.
Looked good to me.
Yeah, I agree.
Move the minutes.
Second.
Get out your spell?
Yeah. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Do you wanna do some new,
Who made a motion to accept those? Ken?
Yeah.
And then Scott?
No, Cheryl seconded.
Okay.
Beat me to it this time.
yeah,
All right.
quick draw on the draw. Good time if you want to go over any of the new business or
New
whatever you wanna
business?
do.
Sure. You wanna start with that
Sure.
offer for some property?
Is that-
So we had an offer, back in August of 2021, I believe it was, I'm sorry, 2022. An offer for a parcel, let's see. Map 102, lot 37, it's 84 Canterbury Shore. From the abutting neighbor. The town, there was several emails that went back and forth, I have the whole packet here. The person ended up not having, they offered to give us a down payment, the select board at the time said, no, they wanted either the whole amount or they didn't wanna do a partial pay and then payment plan or whatever. So they are wondering if that property is still available, and they would still like to pay $2,000 for it. I sent an email back saying that, we've been selling lots there for quite a bit more money. And that, that because of the valuation of property, that right now, the town values that parcel at $38,700. It's a waterfront piece of property. Not that we wanna sell it as an individual lot, but, $2,000 is not probably the amount of money you would take for it. She was hoping that you would grandfather her offer from a year ago, a year and a half ago, and I told her I would bring it forward to you guys, so I'm not sure what you wanna do.
Is that the one where she sent the little poem?
Yes,
Yeah.
I forwarded that to you. The beavers are attacking the trees, and so she put
We
some,
got pics, we
put
got
some
pictures.
wire around the trees and wrote you guys a nice little poem,
Yeah,
Yeah,
so.
I think that's too cheap.
I
Yeah,
do
yeah,
too.
yeah.
Where is it located again?
So it's, I have the map right here, if you guys wanna look at it. And there's some other corresponding properties that have sold private sale recently,
yeah,
that Mandy put on there.
That's the one she wants.
yeah.
The cost of the sale and the date.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they're, you know, a lot like that, a single lot like that is going for quite a, you know,
Yeah,
$30,000 to $40,000, so.
yeah.
But again, I know, you know, you guys have typically sold them,
Some-
I think the last lot you sold was 5,000.
Yes,
Correct.
So I had told her that the last lots, and so she was hoping that you would grandfather the $2,000 price, and I told her I'd bring it forward, so.
Are we gonna be restricting development on that lot?
Yes, yeah.
So
Absolutely. There would be in a butter, similar to what you've done in the other lots, would be my suggestion, where it either gets merged and no additional residential dwellings.
So 85 is the abutting lot? Across-
84 is the abutting lot,
Yeah,
85 is also a town lot that's across the street,
yeah,
and she had expressed interest in that a year or so ago, and wondered if she would be considered a butter, that she could own all three parcels. And I said if she had bought the one next door, that yeah, she would be considered a butter because it's right across the street, and that you guys would consider selling it at a butter cost. So, I think that lot is not a waterfront lot, and the town, the tax card is there with the paperwork, and that was valued at, I think it's $12,200. So, considerably less, but
Hmm.
because, and the road is in real tough shape there, it's more or less non-existent. It kind of stops at that lot that's next to her house. And it's there, but it's a real steep hill,
Yeah.
and it's ledge, and they really haven't done anything. I think that's why no one's built on those.
So, one of those lots appears to be attached to something across the street, or the guy across the street's using it as a lot,
I don't have my computer, so
yeah.
I can access the map and look at it and see.
I just think first off, we should find out that it really is available, I guess.
Well,
Because he's got stuff down there, he's got rafts and boats, and,
Well, the town-owned lot is available,
which is,
the one next to, the one that's highlighted
yeah,
is the one that's the town owns,
okay.
lot 34. I think it's lot 34, lot 37. Lot 37.
I can't read the numbers anyway for most of it.
It says 84.
It's 84 Canterbury Shore.
Oh, okay. Oh, no, you'd have to,
Yeah, I know, sorry. Mandy printed it out,
we can,
she
we
usually
can
does
go
a,
to Beth.
she
Cheryl, would
does
you
a-
like me to hold it for you?
she usually does a blown up version, but she wanted to include the, other two lots that had sold private sale, so she had to print it that big.
Gotcha.
$2,000 is just,
I agree.
It's not a bad lot, I mean, it's a bitch to get down to, right? You gotta hang on to the trees, you're going down the hill.
Yeah, it's fairly steep, yeah,
And
but,
I don't know if you can even drive up there, can you? Maybe. It's,
yeah,
it's like
I've
this,
been through,
ledge
I've been,
sticking up there.
I've been through the road
Yeah,
with my pickup truck and four-wheel drive.
Yeah,
And I wouldn't wanna go down it when it's slippery, I know that.
I came at it from the other side. But that's if you're gonna get up out of that one either,
Yeah,
it's so steep
yeah,
coming up.
Yeah.
I don't think that's enough money, do you?
no.
Do you have a counteroffer, or what do you wanna do?
What's it appraised for?
38.7,
Yeah, because it is on the water.
yeah.
And it's a nice piece of water there, it doesn't have weeds in front of it, shit like that.
And again, the town owns it, and, you know, you have been, the previous select boards have been, they don't want any more building down there.
No.
Yeah,
So that's why they've been selling lots for quite a bit less than they're appraised for.
Yep.
But if it's appraised, I mean, if it's sold, it goes back on the tax rolls, and it goes back on for that value, that 38.7. And so it's gonna be taxed at 38.7.
Yep.
And it's not enough to do current use, so there would be an advantage for the town to get it back on the tax rolls for that amount of money.
yeah.
It's not a ton of money, but it's certainly,
something,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Well, we just.
And it's not another house.
What,
5.
Yeah,
Yes,
The last one we sold was 5,000.
oh, yeah. I don't like being in the land business, but
no,
Hmm,
we're not realtors really, so,
nope,
but 2,000 is just,
it won't hurt us for it to sit there for another year, huh? Or some amount of time.
I don't know I can't remember what the date the town deeded it. It's been quite a while.
I mean, if we sold that for 2,000, I think the town would have our eyes.
yeah.
I think you'd have to be in the ballpark of what you've been selling lots up there
Yeah.
for.
Yeah.
And again, it gets it back on the tax rolls
Right.
at the appraised value of 38,700.
so can we counter at 5,000? Back to
I was
her?
thinking more 10, but
I
I
think
don't know, it's a nice lot, I have looked at it.
it is. 10?
I'm okay with
Excuse me,
Yeah.
does the peanut gallery get to ask questions?
Yeah,
I can't remember if we can.
yeah,
How big is the piece of property?
quarter acre,
Oh, jeez.
yeah.
it's very small, but it's on the water.
But if it's sold, could anybody buy it off the street and put a house on it, on a quarter
No.
acre?
No,
So its only value is to the abutter, really?
Yeah.
Really, the town doesn't sell it to, the town has not in the past sold the lots to anyone other than abutters.
I think that's reasonable.
Because they don't wanna see any more
I'm
buildings,
assuming this one was
residential
the town.
buildings going up.
Yeah,
Correct.
Steve Bergen,
So who assessed it at
Steve
38?
Bergen,
The town,
The town?
the town assesses at 38.7.
she used to be president of the association.
I say 10,000 or best reasonable offer of some.
Yeah,
I agree.
yeah,
10?
10 or
Best
best,
reasonable offer, okay?
not 2,000.
Yeah.
Okay, next we have